Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk to you about whether or not you can become your loved one's guardian. Now, I really wanted to make this video because a couple of days ago, somebody had posted a comment on one of the posts about guardianship on a social media platform and said, I would never get behind Guardian. I think it's a scam. This is how people get ripped off and how, people lose all their money and stuff. And to a certain extent, I agree. But it doesn't happen in my universe, right? Which is the behavioral health space. Have I seen it happen in other worlds? Yeah, I've seen it happen a lot with elderly people. Here in Palm Beach County, we had a judge that was forced to resign. Why? Because he was appointing his wife, who happened to be as a guardian, and then he was appointing his friend, who was the lawyer, to represent the guardian. And the guardian was getting paid, the lawyer was getting paid, and you had a poor client whose estate was being drained. So I've seen it happen, and I can certainly appreciate that. In the cases that we handle, we are not dealing, as a general rule, with elderly people. We're dealing with people with substance use and mental health issues. And the idea is that we're using the guardianship process, right, typically to get them into treatment and control their health care, their behavioral health care. So we want to get them into treatment. We want to make sure they take their medications. We want access to their medical records to make sure that, that things are going okay, right? We want to see what's going on here, especially if we're footing the bill for the treatment. And yeah, we might want to restrict their ability to travel so they don't leave and run away. I might want to take away a driver's license so they don't drive drunk. Now, could there be assets they want to take control of? Yeah, potentially, especially if they're using it and blowing it, right? I've seen people with behavioral health issues who get scammed online out of all their money, or they use the money for buying ridiculous stuff that doesn't support their recovery. But as a general rule, that doesn't happen in the kind of cases we have. And we're not having a professional guardian appointed. It's typically one of the parents or both of the parents. As long as you're not a convicted felon, you can serve as the guardian. So I wanted to make this video because I appreciate someone's concern. And also, you read about Britney Spears online and you're like, well, I don't want that. No, this is not a Britney Spears case. This is not a case where there's a big pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and, people are here to rip off all the money. I appreciate the concern, but that's not what we're dealing with. So if you're a mom and dad out there and you want to get appointed as the guardian, and we have a good argument for why you should be the guardian, then great. I don't see any reason why you couldn't get appointed. But let's have a conversation about what's been going on with your family, right? Is there enough evidence to even file for guardianship? And that's part of our intake process. So I encourage you to pick up the phone and have a call with our intake department. And if you need to, we can schedule a consult with one of the attorneys, probably be me. How about that? In the meantime, if there's an issue going on in your family and I've not made a video about it, well, let me know, post in the comments. I'll make you that video. Also included in the description for this video is a link to our brand new book all about the Marchman Act. So if you don't know what the Marchman Act is, it's a statute that's unique to Florida. Sometimes we use it in combination with a guardianship. And it is for it's for an individual where there's a primary substance use disorder, drug use, right? And I wrote a book all about it. All you gotta do is click on the link, you give us your name, your email address, and we'll send you the book for free. So please download it. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps with the Google algorithm. And if you want more of this content that I make every day, well, please subscribe to the channel. With that said, thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.